Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3. It's Episode 3, right? Yep.
Yep.
Of the Red Laugh Right podcast. My name's Matt.
And I'm Ben. And I'm excited.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about headlines. Because
Headlines.
we always read headlines
Yep.
at the start.
That's the first
I almost
segment.
forgot that we do that.
Yeah.
Let me just go back to Reddit and start off the podcast with reading the headlines, where we, like I said, go to Reddit and read the headlines. And what do we got today? From politics, no surprises
Matt's
here.
favourite subject.
Politics is always popular. Trump spends 2 days... Sorry. Oh, this whole thing's just hilarious.
Ben can't read.
Anytime Trump's in the news, honestly. Trump spends day 2 of quote-unquote national emergency golfing, snagging, and omelette.
Okay.
I'm assuming you've heard about the national emergency.
I've heard about this. I am so mad about it, right? So he calls a national emergency, right? So that he can get funding for his fucking wall, right? Here's the thing about that, right? Like, you call a national emergency when it's like a flood or like an earthquake, right? That's a national emergency. A national emergency is not, hey, we can't get funding for this wall, which is a dumb idea and is not going to stop any immigrants coming into the country. Trump, you're an absolute idiot. It triggers me so much. When I read the story, when I heard the news, I was like, you're kidding, was literally my reaction. I'm so mad about it, and I don't know what else to say about it other than, what is the world coming to?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah. And then he goes off and plays golf. I mean, during his national emergency.
Yeah.
And makes an omelette. Cool. Or is an omelette an actual golf term? Is that a thing? Because it said scores an omelette.
I've
like,
never
did
heard,
he just get an omelette for free? Is that what that means?
I've never heard an omelette as a golf score.
Omelette in golf. Google.
Because I feel like he's just made an omelette and he had a good omelette. Like, he scored an omelette. You know what I mean?
First result for omelette in golf is
Trump.
Viral photo shows Donald Trump casually getting an omelette at golf course.
Yeah, so it sounds like he got an omelette at a golf at the golf course that he went.
Literally every headline is to do with Trump.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. How to perfect the French omelette. There we go. That's not Trump or golf, so why is it on there? Yeah, I don't think it's a golf term. If it is, please let us know. Because why do you have an omelette when you're outside playing golf? It's such a weird place to have an omelette.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I mean, maybe he had it at, like, you know how, like, golf
like
courses have, like, the club rooms, so maybe
yeah,
he
I
had
guess
it there.
so. I'm just imagining some guy.
Oh, you're just imagining
bringing
Trump
it out to him on, like, some plate.
Trump's in the middle of the course, just munching on an omelette as he watches a bunch of guys tee off.
Yeah.
Golf is such, like, a rich person's
I want to
game,
know
eh?
if he's actually any good.
I don't think he's good.
You always see, like, it's always in movies and stuff, like, presidents always playing golf, but, like,
Yeah.
what makes presidents so good at golf? They're probably not always very good.
Yeah.
So
No, I doubt he's good. I reckon he's horrible, to be honest.
uh-huh.
Isn't there a story of Kim Jong-un being like, saying he got 17 holes in one on a round of golf
I don't know. I've never heard of
or
that.
something? It's ridiculous. It's so stupid.
Well, speaking of Kim Jong-un and the supposed attacks on America that he might or may not ever do, this is really tangentially not related at all.
Yeah.
From news, police sources, new evidence suggests Jussie Smollett orchestrated attack. I don't know what it's talking about.
I think that's talking about a mass shooting that happened in the US.
Okay.
This guy who like attacked.
So just
this
another
place
weekend
where
in the
he
US.
Almost got We
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh at that.
Yeah.
But come on, it's true.
It is true though. It's ridiculous that I think it's now it averages out to be one every month, like 30 days or something, and it used to be one every like 120 days
Okay.
or something. I remember reading something like that.
You said it used to be once a month.
No, it
Or
used to be
once every
once every 120 days, and now it's about once every 30 days.
120 days, that's like 4 months, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do math here. Red
Yeah.
laugh, right? We can do math.
The simple stuff.
Yeah.
4
Like
times
really, really simple math. I swear back in high school during maths, right? I'd be doing like a math exam, and I would have my calculator there, right? And I literally at one point had like 1 + 1 as an equation that I needed to do for some reason, right?
Right.
And I literally put 1 + 1 on the calculator. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 2, but I'm just gonna double check because I'm in an exam right now.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that? Did you do that during MCA?
No, I didn't do anything. Well, I mean, I usually did. I put stuff in the calculator just to be sure, you know.
Yeah.
But it's never like that.
Never 1 + 1.
But another funny story is there was one kid in this class who it's one of those maths things. It's not like equations, but it's like, this is like year 3 of school or something like that, early primary school. He gets this sheet of paper with all these shapes on it and whatever, and one that says, cut this circle in half. So what you meant to do is you meant to draw a line through it to cut it in half. This kid cuts out the circle with his scissors and then physically cuts it in half and takes it to the teacher.
That reminds me of all the stories of like, you know, like on the internet and that show you like people being smart and like, well, smart being the operative word on like tests and that. Like one of them was like what ended in 1934, and then they put like 1933 or something like that. Was someone where was the Declaration of Independence signed?
In the United States of America?
At the bottom.
Ah, that's even smarter.
There was some really, and there was one and it was like find X of like an equation, and they just circled the X.
Those are the best things because you're not wrong. So how can they mark you wrong?
Exactly.
You know, technically,
truth. It's all about the technicalities. It's all about those loopholes, you know?
Absolutely. And speaking of loopholes, here's a life pro tip from you from Life Pro Tips. I mean, it's kind of a headline, but anyway. Life pro tip. Open chip bags upside down. They've been sitting upright most of their lives, which makes the seasoning settle to the bottom of the bag. I've never thought about that.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever opened a chip bag upside down? I don't think my OCD would let me.
I don't think I don't think I have.
I don't think I... If I have, it's probably been an accident.
Yeah. Same. I'd be the same. If I've done it, it was completely accidental, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have. You know what's the worst thing about chip companies and that?
60% air.
Yeah. The only brand of chips that doesn't sell
you talking about Pringles?
Yeah, is Pringles.
Haven't they changed that recently?
Probably.
Don't they have? I'm pretty sure they have a little more air in them now.
Probably.
Than they used to. They're definitely not all the way to the top.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I buy Pringles usually every time I fly.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think they're all the way to the top.
But I swear though, comparing to
the percentage though is much less than most bags.
Yeah.
Because they're not bags.
Most I swear it's like more than 50% of the bag is air.
Oh, okay. Hold on. There's this comment here. This guy's been given gold and silver, so he must know what he's talking about.
Oh.
So he says, I deliver for Frito-Lay. I think that's an American chip company.
I'm assuming.
And would argue that this isn't the best advice. In the factory, the chips are intentionally stacked in boxes upside down to prevent the seasoning from gathering at the bottom. Huh. Also, when our trucks are loaded at the warehouse, the dock workers load the boxes upside down for the same reason. It's not until the chips are delivered to the grocery store that they're apparently in the upright position. Keeping the product upside down until it gets to the retailer has been standard practice at Frito-Lay, at least since I started working there back in 1998, when the Undertaker threw mankind off hell in a cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table.
That WWE reference in there right at the end.
Yes. Do you know this reference?
I think I vaguely know it. Or at least I've just heard of the Undertaker, and that's the part that I went, oh, I know that.
Yeah.
Do you understand, like, did you get that entire reference?
I know, yeah. I intentionally chose this comment. This is actually from 20 days ago.
Oh.
Because this, unconventionally, is my second most favorite meme of all time.
Really?
So what it is that it's this guy named Shitty Morph on Reddit. And he spends his life, well, I don't know what he does with his actual life, but his Reddit life is nothing but making comments like this, where he makes up some long paragraph saying that, acting as if he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it always ends with back in 1998, when the Undertaker threw mankind off hell in a cell and plummeted 16 feet through an announcer's table. I decided to reveal my second position now because we were talking about Reddit headlines, and it's the perfect place to read it out.
That's an amazing segue. That takes all the work out of it for me. So, since Ben's already spoiled his number 2 pick, let's just get right into it.
Absolutely.
So our next segment is called Top 5. and today we're doing top 5 memes, and this is semi-inspired by the film High Fidelity, where they make their own top 5 lists. And I keep introducing it this way, even though it's not really inspired at all by High Fidelity, but I just like plugging the movie, so I'm going to keep doing it. And it's already become a thing, and it's expected of me, so now I have to keep doing it.
You're making it too long now, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so, top 5 memes. I'm going to start, then Ben's going to go. All right, I got my notes here. So here's what I've done, right? I've done it not the exact meme. I've done the type of meme. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You'll understand what. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think people get what I mean.
It's pretty up to interpretation what you could do here.
All right.
Yeah.
So number 5 isn't necessarily a type of meme, but it was a time of meme.
Okay.
World Cup memes that came out during the 2018 World Cup.
Which sport?
This would be football World Cup.
Okay.
Also known as the most popular sport in the world.
Well, when you say World Cup, I immediately think rugby because it's the most popular sport in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And if you were talking about football, I would assume you would have said FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
Because most people say FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
But that's it. Whatever. Continue.
I'm just lazy and just wanted to say World Cup. Yeah. So there was some quality memes. I think the best one was that showed Messi first, and it was a picture of Messi and was like carrying Argentina. Then it showed a photo of Harry Kane, and it said carrying England. And then it had another photo of Ronaldo saying carrying Portugal. And then it had a fourth picture of a plane, and it said carrying Germany because Germany got knocked out at the group stage. And that was that's one of the best memes I've seen for a while. But yeah, there was some quality football. Like, football is one of like the perfect things to inspire memes with, you know what I mean? Like sport and like sporting rivalries. I feel like some good memes come out of sport.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one, but there was so many good ones. But definitely World Cup memes. That's number 5.
Nice. So my number 5. My number 5 is actually the only instance like of a single specific meme. Like all my other ones is like repeated in different ways. Like the Shitty Morph one there, he just does it on every comment. This one is one that you kind of have to see to understand. This one's just so funny. I was actually with Tash when I saw this meme. I don't think he knows what I'm talking about. And I just couldn't stop laughing. And our tutor came and walked past, and he just saw us cracking up, and he didn't know what to make of us. But anyway, it's hard to put into words. But it's a post on Marvel Studios on Reddit saying, "Did you spot the creator of The Simpsons making a cameo on Daredevil Season 3? And this is the photo.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. I like that a lot.
So to explain what Matt just laughed at, it's a photo of Daredevil on the ground, no spoilers, and he's groaning, and the subtitles are on, and it says in brackets, Matt groaning. Because if you don't know, it's also the name of the creator of The Simpsons, spelt slightly differently.
Yeah.
And that just cracked me up so hard, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's my number 5.
That's your number 5.
Because I can't think of another meme that's made me laugh so hard for so long. And
Yeah.
it still makes me laugh when I look at it.
Yeah.
But it's also part of the experience of it, because when you first read the title, it was tagged with a spoiler tag, so you can't actually see the photo unless you tap on it.
Yeah.
So you read the caption, and you're like, oh, wow. Because at this point, I hadn't even seen the show, the season. I was like, oh, wow, have a look. And then you just read Matt groaning. Just... I told you this would be a fun episode.
Yeah.
That's it. You better hurry up.
Number 5. All right, my number 4
otherwise we're gonna
pick
keep
is
going forever.
my number 4 pick is sarcastic Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So it's the one where Willy Wonka's like head on his knuckle fist.
Yeah.
Thingamabobby, and then has whatever. I know, that's just a classic meme, you know? And
Absolutely.
a classic meme with a lot of opportunities to make fun of certain groups of people. Just some funny stuff there. So that's my number 4 pick, sarcastic Willy Wonka.
Sarcastic Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
All right.
Classics.
My number 4 pick is another guy on Reddit. You wouldn't believe there are 2 hilarious people on Reddit. But anyway.
What?
Well, you know how it goes.
I thought there could only be one.
I know. Anyway, it's another guy on Reddit.
And his name
Matt is literally in silence. He's laughing so hard right now. I didn't think that would work that well.
It was just so stupid. It was funny. That is an ultimate meme. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
I remember the first time I got by this.
Yeah.
It was like a Spanish video. It was like learning Spanish, and because I understood Spanish at the time, I don't think I do anymore. It was like, "Hello, my name is what is your name?" And then it's like, "My name is John Cena."
Yeah.
And wow, that I just remember that experience for the first time, and just feeling so happy that happened to me, because it's one of the funnest feelings when something like that happens to you.
I'm pretty sure it's happened to me before.
But of course, it all stems from the original John Cena prank call, which, if you haven't heard, just look it up on YouTube. It's like 5 minutes long. They basically just call this lady back like 5 or 7 times or something, and they keep playing the John Cena thing. It's more funny than just that, though. It sounds really lame when I describe it. But
yeah, it reminds me of like Rickrolling. It's like a modern Rickrolling.
Yeah, it is kind of, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rickrolling was like, I feel like Rickrolling was like the first meme, like one of the first memes.
Oh, no way. Rickrolling was like...
What would be the first meme then?
Rickrolling was like still like 2007 and stuff. Like original memes like have been around for ages. Like Rage comics and stuff, that's still memes.
Yeah.
Like, and you're talking about internet memes anyway. I remember I actually watched a video probably like yesterday about Lemino, my favorite YouTuber of all time.
Yeah.
So he did a top 10 facts. He does heaps of top 10 facts videos. His first ever top 10 facts was top 10 facts about memes, because at the time he was a meme channel, and he was like top 10 Rage comments of the week or something. And he said what he thought the first meme was, and I've forgotten now what it is.
Oh no.
No, that's right. Apparently, according to his sources, the first documented meme was the emoticon, which I wouldn't even call a meme really, but I guess if it's all you've got for humor at the time, that's what it is. So as in you have to type it colon dash and then a parentheses.
Yeah.
Like a guy actually just started saying that in emails, and then that became a meme, I guess.
Yeah.
No one would laugh at that now. You know what I miss? I actually miss typing those, because nowadays if you type that, it automatically makes an emoji out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. I want a classic emoticon.
You want the old school.
Yeah, old school, man.
Want the old schools.
Yeah. It's especially bad for sad faces, because you know the emoji when you type a sad face and it auto corrects? It's not actually a sad face. It's like I can't remember what it is. It's like frowny or crying or something, but it's not what you would expect when you just put a sad face. Yeah. It's not just I'm drawing lines in the air, but a dot.
Speaking of classic memes, got another classic meme in the old not sure if meme, which is a photo of Fry from Futurama, and
yes,
not sure if blank or blank, and then whoever create the meme would the memer. What's the word for someone who creates a meme? Is it a memer? Is it just a meme creator? I don't know.
I'd say memer.
Memer?
And you're the meme.
Yeah.
Because you view it. Maybe that's why people mispronounce it meme, because meme is still a word. It just means the person who got memed.
Yeah.
We're just making stuff up now.
I think we've discovered something here today, Ben.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the not sure if meme. Yeah, I know. It's just that there's been some like solid memes that I've seen of it, with that format. That's made me laugh. So yeah, so that's my number 3 pick. Not much else to say on it.
All right, my number 3 pick. It is another Reddit thing, and this time it's not a John Cena.
All of yours Reddit?
Yeah, literally all of them are on Reddit. I'm really bad. I know.
Nice.
It's where I spend the majority of my time. I don't scour Facebook like you scumbags. It's funny. I talk with people about this all the time. If I try and convince them to to join Reddit, but then they're like, "Oh, it looks lame, looks weird," and then they're like scrolling at a funny meme, like, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw that last week. That was on Reddit. I know who made that meme.
Yeah.
You don't. You see this faceless Facebook page. Isn't it ironic that almost all the content on Facebook is faceless?
Yeah.
It's just this random memes for uneducated blue-faced teens. That's probably a page.
Probably.
It probably exists. All those meme pages exist, and they just steal memes from the most popular websites on the internet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is not Facebook. It frustrates me, but
yeah,
it's as long as the memes are reaching people, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, you want to see them when they happen. You want to
Yeah.
be part of that experience.
Yeah.
You know, commenting with the real people in that who
For
are involved.
sure.
Anyway, my top.
Tangent.
This one's not even a single meme that's repeated. It's actually a category of memes, and it's called bone hurting juice. So if you go to reddit.com/r/bone hurting juice, you'll find it, and it's memes where they look at the meme visually and interpret it differently.
Okay.
It's hard to explain. It's like they interpret it literally, basically.
Oh, right.
So it's hard to think of an example. I'll try and find what's the top meme on this subreddit of all time. Oh, this one's classic. Okay, so this one is Jim from The Office looking through the window and looking through the blinds, and the blinds aren't down. They're like, you know how you just, well, you can see it, but how the blinds, so you can see through the blinds.
Oh, yeah.
And the caption is, when you look inside your guitar and find your pick.
Oh, I know that feel. I know that feel so much.
No, but that's not what it is. He's not just happy because he's found his pick. He's literally looking through the strings, and he's looking at the. Cannot see that.
Yeah.
The blinds are like the strings of the guitar.
Yeah.
He's looking into the. It's literal.
Yeah.
Like it's a literal. Because normally that meme would be associated with when something fun happens or whatever, when something makes you happy or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And most of them are comics, to be honest. That have been recaptioned and stuff. And I've made a few of my own posts that I've been quite proud of. It's just the most fun. I laugh the most at these memes. Then, you know, it's hard to explain unless...
Unless you can see them.
Here's a great one.
We'll probably just cut it into the...
Yeah. We'll
a
just
whole
scroll
bunch of
through.
examples.
So here's one. You know the guy the dad from Fairly Odd Parents? It's like, this is my pedestal for holding a great trophy. If I had one. You know that meme? So basically it's like, this is my favorite place to sorry. This is my favorite place to experience horrific cramps. And then he has a massive cramp because that's literally what it looks like he's doing in the meme. Because he's like, This is not fun to explain. This makes me sound like a lunatic.
Yeah.
Go to reddit.com/r/bone-hurting-juice and your life will be changed forever. I promise you.
Okay.
They're the funniest.
All right.
I think.
All right.
I think they're the funniest.
I think the number 2 meme of the time is I don't know how else to call it other than the Hitler meme. You know, the one where it's like, it's taken from that movie where Hitler's going on like a giant ass rant, and then they replace the subtitles with like whatever they want.
Oh, yes.
You know the meme? I'm talking
Yes.
about?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Did you find out that the guy, apparently the guy who played Hitler died recently?
Really?
Yeah, like a day or 2 ago. Anyway, so it's from this like famous movie, but no one knows it for the movie anymore. They just know it as a meme.
Do you actually know what movie it was?
Downfall.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I haven't seen.
Right. Typical.
Yeah, and so they replace it with like just random rants, and I remember seeing one, and it was like him ranting about like MTV or something, or like some celebrities, or I think one was like the Kardashians or something, which was like so funny, just watching Hitler go on like a giant ass rant about something like modern day, you know what I mean? And there's been some good ones, so that's my number 2 pick. And since Ben already did his number 2 pick, am I going straight to my honorable mentions?
Yeah, I actually don't have any.
You have no honorable mentions?
I don't have any honorable mentions because like me and memes are weird. Like I don't call myself a fan of memes generally.
Yeah, I'm
but
sort of
there's
in the same
these
boat.
specific memes that make me laugh so much that like these scream out to me, and I honestly couldn't think of anything else. I thought of maybe Wonders Not Simply, you know, Boromir, the classic. Just like I'd throw that out there just because, you know, it was one of the earliest image macros at least.
Yeah.
That I can remember.
Yeah.
It's probably like one of the earliest instances of me knowing what a meme was, at least.
Yeah.
And because I love Lord of the Rings, I just want to throw that in there.
Yeah.
But you go ahead.
Funnily enough, that was one of my honorable mentions.
Really?
Was the one
Good.
Simply,
Good.
meme. Just because it was a classic, you know. It's just a classic, you know.
Yeah.
And just, you know, so much opportunity to sort of play around with it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also had the classics such as Bad Luck Brian, as well as Good Guy Greg.
All of yours are just
classic.
What are they called? No, they're called advice animals.
Yeah.
They're just image macros of a person and saying a thing.
Yeah.
Well, not even saying a thing necessarily.
So then I also have Flex Tape.
What's that? Is that a meme?
Sort of. It was basically like an infomercial thing for this thing called flex tape, where you could like plug any like leak thing with this flex tape, and then it would like not leak anymore.
Really?
Right? But like the guy who like presented it was like way over enthusiastic about it. So he's like, he gets like a chainsaw and he's like, look at it cut.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, this is dangerous, like, you know, and all this stuff. And then he gets the tape and then he just like slams it on there. And there was one where it was like, just a bunch of people were making fun of it and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just the memes that came out of it was so funny. And just the original thing of it was brilliant. And I saw one of some guys from Achievement Hunter who I've mentioned 1,000 times on this podcast.
Yeah.
He had flex tape and he was talking about flex tape and stuff, and he tried to plug like a Coke, but it was like still leaking because the product doesn't even work like properly.
Okay.
And so it's just leaking everywhere, and he's just like, the power of flex tape, and like, you know, like squirts everywhere.
Yeah. You're laughing at this more than you were at your like top 5.
It was so funny. Yep. So now my number one is it was at this moment he realized he fucked up. You know that one.
What's the image that goes with that?
What's that?
What's the image that goes with that?
It was a video form.
Video.
Yeah. So it was just a bunch of videos, and it was just people like jump it. So they would jump or something, right? And then it would freeze midair, and it'd be like, at this moment he realized.
Oh, it's just a caption on its own.
Up. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. I just assumed that there would be an image for that.
And then they'd slam.
You know what that reminded me of for some reason?
Yeah.
It's not even really related. Another Lord of the Rings one, actually. Gandalf saying, I have no memory of this place. I love that one.
Yeah.
I've used that a few times.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah. No. The whole thing with my number one is that it's okay. So it plays perfectly into my like sense of humor in terms of like just people getting hurt is funny. Equals funny, right? Which I think I mentioned before. But like, I don't know, that stuff is funny, and I like watching people get hurt. So it plays into that sort of sadistic side.
Yeah.
Of myself, which I feel like everyone sort of has. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will see someone get hurt and be like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So that's my
Cool.
that's my number one.
Shit. Sorry. Just getting a phone call.
Oh.
Do you know what that number is? +1?
No.
What starts with +1?
Answer it.
Do you reckon it's a scam call?
Probably.
Should I put it on speaker?
Do it.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay. Hello?
Joke's on you, I love this song.
For those of you who don't know what just happened, I just totally rickrolled Matt. And I made that real convincing, and he doesn't look like he got. He just looks like he's enjoying it. Now I'm offended that he didn't get offended. I created a shortcut on my phone
That's impressive.
that would turn on my flashlight on and off,
Yeah.
so it looked like I was getting a phone call because I actually have that setting turned on. And then I found a screenshot of just a random number. I changed the numbers around even, and it made it look like I was getting a phone call.
That's amazing.
And then I went back to
I
the
totally
shortcuts,
fell for that, man.
stopped the flashlight, and loaded another shortcut that stops the flashlight and plays Never Gonna Give You Up.
That's amazing. I'm very impressed with that.
didn't-
Is that your number one? Was that?
That's my number one.
just
That's
the
my
way
number
you just
one favorite
recall it.
meme of all time.
Yeah.
I'm notoriously known for this meme. In school especially, as soon as someone steps away from their computer, I go in immediately, and I actually made a short link
Yeah.
to access it, and I would type in, because it's way easier to remember, and I'd type it in, boom, they come back and they get rickrolled.
Yeah.
Literally every time. Tash knows this. I did this to him a bunch of times as well. Yeah. But not even just at film school last year. Even like back at high school, I was doing this so much, and
Yeah. He was just the Rickroll guy, basically.
Yeah, I was. I remember one time in art design, which is this class where you make graphic design basically, and you put it on this big panel. I another guy was away, my friend was away, and so I printed out giant photos of Rick Astley and just pasted them on his artboard so that when he opened it up, he would get rickrolled. But then underneath those pieces of paper were smaller photos of Rick Astley again. He loved that. And the worst thing I ever did to him, he had his own business doing like design work, and I sent him an email. I made an email account on mail.com, and it was skippywilliamson@nycmail.com. So it sounded slightly legit with the NYC. And I said, "Hi, I'm a guy from New York, and I own a pizza shop, and I'm looking for someone to design a logo." And I totally fooled him. He thought for real that I was legit. And then I think I told him, like, I'm just going to put a few concepts together, because he responded. He's like, yeah, I'd be so keen. And then he came to me, and he's like, oh my gosh, I actually got a real client. I was just and then I waited like maybe half a week, and then I replied, or maybe I replied then. I said, hey, just give me some time. I'm just going to put together a few concepts and send them to you in a video. And then I waited like a week or two, and then I sent him an email, and it was just a link saying, here's the few concepts I put together, hope you like it, or whatever. And it was just a link to the Never Gonna Give You Up video. And he was so pissed.
You're a terrible human being.
He was so mad.
That's amazing.
I hope you're listening to this, because I relish that
memory.
It's so fun. And he awarded me, because he was in charge of the awards at the end of the year, and he awarded me with best prankster, because of that, and because of it's all I spent my time on. I mean, what else are you gonna do at school? There's nothing else to do at school.
Yeah, of course.
And also one of my favorite posts on Reddit, always see they're all linked to Reddit, is on r/videos. And it's, you know how people were doing those memes where it was just like, it's Harry Potter, but every time they say Harry Potter, it speeds up?
Yeah.
It was like that, except it was Never Gonna Give You Up, but every time he says never, it speeds up. But it was just the same video.
Yeah.
It wasn't speeding up at all. And so you get halfway through, and you keep listening like, is it speeding up? Is it speeding up? I can't tell.
Yeah.
And you listen to at least half the song before you realize you just got a Rickroll.
I think my favorite one though out of those such and such, but like whatever's sped up.
Yeah.
Was one, and it was an Amy Schumer comedy special, but every time she says something funny, it speeds up, and it was just the entire thing. It's so good, because Amy Schumer is just not funny.
Yeah.
She's not a good comedian. I don't understand how she has a career.
Right. Which one is she? Because I know the name and I don't.
Yeah.
Is she the one in Parks and Rec? Is that no? Completely different? Okay. I don't know who it is then.
Yeah.
Is she in like Bridesmaids or something like that?
No.
One of those? Pitch Perfect?
No.
Okay, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Yeah. She's had some bad movies that she's like made and stuff. Like there's one called Trainwreck. There was one recently that was called, like Feeling Pretty or something like that.
I Feel Pretty. Yeah, I know the face and I know the name, but I don't think I've seen her in anything.
Yeah, good, because she's not good. I don't understand why she has a career.
I see.
Yeah. So that's our top fives. So here's the thing with memes though, right? I think memes translate very well to the real world, especially I think the ultimate meme, right, was just the 2016 presidential election.
Oh, that was a heck of a meme.
Just the entire thing was just one
even
meme.
Even the most recent New Zealand election was memes all over.
Yeah.
Like in general, like in the last, well, actually probably since 2016, like memes have been like the thing with politics, like in what do you call it, elections.
Yeah.
Like they now decide the elections, the memes. And Russia, but you know, that's a different topic. Allegedly.
And Russia. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think of some good. Yeah, because I feel like the entire like electing Trump was just like the best part was I think Jim Jeffries, a comedian, was talking about it, and he said Australian comedian was talking about it, and he was just like, he was talking about Trump, and he was like, part of me goes, no, we can't do it, you know, it'll be terrible, blah, blah, blah. But another part of me just goes, fuck it, let's do it. You know, just like, let's do it, just for the meme, you know. I think the most ultimate, just doing it for the meme thing during the election was, I think it was 100,000 people voted for Harambe.
I thought it was These Nuts.
A couple also voted for These Nuts. And that was like 1,000. Yeah.
And when they read that out on the newscast saying, and 1,000 votes for these nuts, and they sound like real professional, like they're saying it like it's serious. And it's so funny, just taking the piss out of the election, saying how stupid it is. Oh, anyone can go for president these days, which literally.
I think the best though is in the UK. What they do, get this right. In the UK, they get during their elections, they'll get all the like for whatever seat right that they're running for. They'll get all the when they do the elections, they'll get all the candidates and they'll like be like lined up and they'll read the votes out loud.
Yeah.
And so even the joke candidates are like standing there, and so they're like whatever joke candidate 473 votes or whatever.
Yeah.
There's one guy who ran for some sort of seat somewhere in the UK, and his name was Commander Buckethead or something, and it was just this guy with this like giant bucket on his head, and he said like he was like an intergalactic superhero or something, and he had a bunch of policies, and they were all like stupid as hell but funny.
Do you remember? Have you seen the Black Mirror episode where there's this like guy? I'm pretty sure he runs like for some
the
political
animated
position. He's like some frog or something.
Yeah.
Man, I can hardly remember that. I watched Black Mirror 8 years ago, so I don't remember most of it now.
Yeah. Black Mirror is a good show though.
It is.
Yeah, I remember that episode. That was a funny episode. I think that episode was made like just before Trump. Was it? Was it before or after Trump?
Oh, it wouldn't have been. It wouldn't have been after the election. It could have been before the election,
yeah,
but after he announced himself.
Yeah, either way, it was like satirizing the election.
Yeah, because he announced he was running like at least a year before the election, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other examples of memes in politics?
Oh yeah, because I'm the one who's like.
You're the politics guy.
Carrying the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I mean, there were some half decent ones with like the New Zealand, during the New Zealand election.
Yeah, the only ones I remember is. You know the ones where there's like the guy and the girl walking down and the guy's like looking back at the other girl?
Yeah.
I saw a bunch of those with like Labour and National or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't remember specifically.
Yeah, I can't remember specifics as well. I remember there's one page and it was like backing the Kiwi meme or something, and it was just a bunch of memes like about New Zealand politics and stuff. And there was a couple of ones that were like funny.
Actually,
or like
you know what's a
semi-funny.
great meme? The
What's
New
that?
Zealand flag. And that whole fiasco.
The best one I saw was it was the flag design, and it was a kiwi. It was like a black flag, had like a hand drawn kiwi with like a laser shooting.
Yeah, the laser kiwi.
That was the best.
That's the most famous one.
That should have been our flag.
Absolutely. I would love for that.
I would have voted for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, the whole situation was stupid, because not only were 2 out of the 4, at least 2 of them, maybe it's 3, no, I think 2 out of the 4 choices that we were given, we didn't get to choose, we didn't get to vote for the choices. We only got to vote for the actual final one, you know?
Yeah.
Like, this quote-unquote professional team, whatever, put together these 4 choices. 2 of them were the exact same design, except one of them had a different colour in the background.
Yeah.
And then one of them was Red Peak, which actually I don't mind. I actually think that's quite nice. And then I can't remember what the 4th one was.
Yeah.
Unless there were only 3? No, there must have been 4. But then the fact is, like, they do all this thing, like, which one would you choose? And everyone chooses the lame one with the blue background and the fern.
Yeah.
And then they're like, now here's another vote. Do you actually want this one, or do you just want to keep the old one? Everyone's just like, keep the old one. It's like, why didn't you do that at the start?
Yeah, I think.
Why didn't you do that first before you did all this research into these other flags?
I think one of the things about it as well is that
they were trying to convince people to change it. That's why they were trying to convince people with this. Oh, here's a nice design.
Yeah, I mean,
but it wasn't even.
I think half the problem was that. Okay, so you basically had 2 categories of people, right, during the debate, right? Well, debate. I just chucked air quotes around the word debate, because there wasn't really much of a debate. There was like the crowd that was like passionate, basically like don't change it, and then everyone else who just didn't give a shit. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and most people,
like
most of the people that didn't care still preferred the current flag to the other one they suggested. Yeah. So that's what won. Yeah. And it's dumb.
What was the percentage of?
I don't know.
I can't even remember.
It was probably tight.
I feel like it was relatively tight. It wasn't like 51-49 tight. But
oh no, that was the US election 2016.
Yeah.
wasn't it? Was it? It was, right? Something like that.
Because the US election's so complicated because they
But it was
have
really
such
close.
a weird system. Because technically, so
Technically, that more people voted
more
for
people
Hillary,
voted for Clinton,
but more states
but
voted for
more
Trump.
states voted for
I
Trump.
think that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, that's not meme related.
Yeah, no.
Well, kind of is, because anything. If you're talking about the 2016 US election, you're talking about memes, aren't you?
Yeah, an entire election was a meme.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. Back to the flag thing. Like, it's not even New Zealand's fault that we have the same flag as Australia. That we had the flag
New
before
Zealand
Australia
made
made
it
their
Australia,
flag.
Yeah.
So like, Australia just stealing from
Australia
us.
just-
Hey, there's another meme. Australia's stealing from us. That's a meme on its own.
Yeah, constantly.
Uh-huh.
I remember seeing like a giant list of like all the stuff Australia.
Yeah, there used to be like an ad on TV that listed like everything.
Yeah.
And it's always a pavlova. They always talk about pavlova.
Yeah.
What's so special about pavlova? They're like, I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's yum. There's better desserts.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of
Like,
pavlova.
why do you have to be so proud? Oh, we're so proud of pavlova, this mediocre.
Because New Zealand doesn't have
dessert.
much.
We've got the first guy to climb Mount Everest. We've got the guy who split the atom.
Yeah.
We've got the guy that, I don't know. I can't think of anything else. But I know there's plenty of things that we've done.
How many?
Heaps.
How many desserts do we have, Ben? How many desserts?
We've got
do we
LMP. That's world famous.
That's not a dessert.
in New Zealand.
I love world famous in New Zealand Day. It's like
It's pretty good. I think we're all memed out for the night.
I think we are memed.
But if you have any other memes, I want to see them.
Yeah,
Send them to us.
Just send them.
I'm talking
to us.
I'm talking to you, the listener, right now. By the way, not
Yeah.
talking to Matt.
Just chuck them.
Chuck us
on
your
our
favorite
social
memes.
media. On all our social medias like Facebook, Twitter, Ambit, YouTube,
Do it.
all that fun stuff.
Right.
Cool.
And the next segment of the show is
What you doing?
and that phrase in its own is a bit of a meme, isn't it? The fact that we're using it in our podcast
Yeah, true.
shows that it's a meme. I remember I just say it all the time because
Yeah.
it's a funny thing to say. It kind of catches on, and that's what a
does.
meme is. It's just something that catches on and it's fun.
Very true. Very true.
So what have you been doing, Matt?
So I've got a fair amount to talk about actually.
Going off your list.
Yeah, going off my list. Here we go. All right, we ready? First category is so what I've watched, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 films, right? So we'll quickly rattle them off.
Mm-hmm.
Buried, which is a 2006 film, I believe, starring Ryan Reynolds. Literally, entire film, right, is just him buried underground, and he's like trying to escape, and so he has to like ring a bunch of people to try and like help him get out
Really?
and stuff. And it's like one of those types of movies, you know.
Sounds really interesting.
So, yeah, really interesting film. Starring Ryan Reynolds. I mean, it's Ryan Reynolds. What more do you want?
But how much of him can you actually see if it's all in the dark and he's underground?
It's a fair amount you can see.
Okay.
Yeah. They sort of it's really interesting how because they use like
The light
lighting
of his cell
like
phone?
a lighter cell phone, torch at one point,
Mhm.
some like glow in dark sticks. None of those are spoilers.
Cool.
I feel like none of them. That's not really a spoiler. There's a lighter.
He's
in the
underground.
film.
What else can he
There's
do?
a lighter in the film. I didn't know that. Now the entire film.
Is there a gas leak and then the lighter ignites the gas and he burns alive? And that's the end of the movie.
Maybe.
And then the sequel is burned
Maybe.
and he was actually Deadpool and he came back to life.
Maybe.
Well, he just never died. But
You'll have to watch. You'll have to watch the film to find out, Ben, and listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Next film. Lost in Translation.
yeah.
Directed by Sofia Coppola.
Mm-hmm.
Whose name I'm sure I mispronounced, but that's okay. Starring Scarlett Johansson as well as what's his name?
I haven't seen the movie.
What's his name?
I don't know. Mark Ruffalo.
No, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray?
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really, really interesting film. Like a quiet film is how I would sort of describe it. You know, it's like it's like these two people who like meet in Japan. And so, like, hence lost in translation, right? Because they don't speak, like, a word of Japanese. So they're, like, walking around Japanese and they sort of, like, build this, like, relationship together. And it's pretty cool. It's interesting. And it's slow, but it's, like, and poetic. And a little bit beautiful as well. So it's a good film. It's a good film. My third film, Hateful Eight, directed by
Oh, I finally saw it.
Quentin Tarantino. Finally saw it. Good film. Good film. Very much a western, isn't it? Like sort of a slow burn. Like, you know what I mean? Like it takes a while because it's a western, but that's like what you expect with like westerns are just Usually, like pacing wise, you know what I mean? Like,
For sure.
it takes a while.
Man, I love that movie.
But it's a good movie.
I've still only seen that the once,
Yeah.
but it's hella good.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Great cast, great writing. I mean, what do you expect with Tarantino?
How do you rate it with your other Tarantinos?
Okay, so I was thinking about this, right? The other, like, sort of after I watched it. Because originally I was thinking, it's probably one of Tarantino's weakest films. But then I remembered Jackie Brown, and I was like, no, Jackie Brown's probably his weakest film.
Really?
But like, if you put it up against Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction,
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
not as good as those two films.
It still has great dialogue, though.
Yeah,
Wait, which one are we talking about now? Jackie Brown or Hateful Eight?
I think Hateful Eight is a better film than Jackie
Yeah.
Brown.
Yeah. Well, you're saying Jackie Brown has I'm confused.
Okay, so Jackie Brown
You think it's the worst,
is the worst.
and you think Hateful Eight's second worst?
Yes.
Wow. I think it's my favorite after Res Dogs.
Yeah?
Yeah. And then Django. And then Pulp Fiction. Then
shit.
Jackie
yeah,
Brown.
Django as well, yeah. Django's good.
Oh, wait. I forgot about Inglourious Basterds. Where does that go? That goes above Pulp
Inglourious
Fiction,
Basterds.
actually, for me.
I've seen a fair amount of Tarantino films, actually.
I only haven't seen Kill Bill and Death Proof. So,
I've seen both Kill Bills. I haven't seen Death Proof.
okay. And
I've
Death
seen a
Proof
fair
was
amount
like...
of Tarantino films, actually.
Death Proof was like not half a movie, but it was like part of a like double feature with, I believe it was Robert Rodriguez. I think I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
it might have been.
Yeah.
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my
Getting off track.
third film that I watched. Fourth film was A Quiet Place.
Damn.
That was a good film.
All these movies.
That was such a good film. Yeah. So like I sort of got back. You know how I made a giant list of films, and then I sort of fell off the horse for a bit. And sort of went off watching movies for a bit. And then recently just got back into it and sort of averaged like one a day, like this week.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. And those were some of the films that I watched that I wanted to talk about. Okay, now really quickly, lightning round. All right, this is all the stuff that I've been listening to. Okay, Childish Gambino, right, or Smooth. That's all that needs to be said. Smooth. Right, Childish Gambino, Smooth.
Hurry up. You said this is lightning. You just spent 5 minutes on Smooth.
Still Feel by Half Alive, which is just, I know, just a chill song. Loner by Youngblood, nice bit of rock there. Self Care by Mac Miller. Keanu Reeves by Logic, which are both hip hop songs, hip hop / rap. Who Cares by Paul McCartney, which is a lovely song. And then finally, lo-fi hip hop and just in general, just so chill. Sort of gotten into listening to that sort of stuff. Perfect stuff to like put on in the background, you know, and just chill to. And that's, I think, most of the music that I've been listening to has sort of just been chill music that I've just chucked on in the background and just like relaxed to, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what I've been watching and listening to these last 2 weeks. And then what I want to watch and listen to is I'm probably going to watch In Bruges, hopefully, within the next 2 weeks, as well as a bunch of other films that are on my list that you can find on my Letterboxd account, which is Matt_5.
Not Matt5.
Not Matt5.
I followed the wrong guy.
_5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then music, I'm sure I'll find some more music to listen to as well, and then I'll talk about it in 2 weeks' time.
Lovely. Well, speaking of Lost in Translation, a movie that's kind of not about that, but involves someone who doesn't know how to speak the language, The Terminal with Tom Hanks.
Yep.
I finally watched this. It was fun. I enjoyed it for like the first 2/3 of it, and then it fell off the rails for me. It just went all kind of lame and cliche, I guess.
Yeah.
Didn't really go where I was expecting, I guess.
You know it's based on a true story, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm sure they took a lot of liberties though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
With that, for sure. 'Cause it felt quite cliche.
Yeah. It's been a while
end
since
anyway.
But
But it was fun. I really loved Tom Hanks in it because when it first started, I thought he was like a spy or something. And he was pretending to be Russian or whatever.
Yeah.
But he's actually, and then I figured out he's legit. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But I loved his commitment to that role and his accent and stuff. It was awesome. And then I found myself in the car and I was just speaking like Russian. Like, I go New York. I go, and that's all I can say. I go New York.
I go New York.
And then, yeah.
Russian
But,
accent, quite difficult.
Yeah, we just got to say vodka. We say vodka,
Vodka.
and then I go New York. It's
Vodka.
kind of similar. The way he says it is... No, that doesn't sound like how he was saying it. Oh no, I've lost it. I was doing it the other day, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I go New York. I go New York. Okay, this is not a podcast for bad accents. Let's cut that out. Okay. And speaking of movies, here's another movie. Lady Bird. I finally watched that.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was fine. I enjoyed it because it was just like a nice like little slice of life.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah,
But it's nothing special. But it was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I think for me when I went into watching that, I heard a lot of praise for it.
Yeah.
And so I sort of went in with higher expectations.
Yeah, probably,
and
yeah.
then felt really disappointed as a result.
Okay.
Which kind of didn't ruin the film, but
Yeah.
ruined the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was my
And speaking of John Krasinski from The Quiet Place, of course I've been watching The Office.
Yeah.
Where was I last time? I think 2 weeks ago I was starting season 5. I'm about halfway through season 7 now. But I've been doing other things as well. I watched all of season 2 of The Punisher. And that was really great. I really enjoyed that. I think it was my, I want to say second favorite Marvel season. Maybe third favorite. But I really enjoyed it. It's jam-packed. A lot of people say that, like, these Marvel shows, well, it's probably the last one now, but say that they're too long. They shouldn't be 13 episodes. Most of the time I agree with that. Like Daredevil and Jessica Jones, I mean, they could have been shorter 10 eps. But this one I felt like the whole time it was moving along. And a lot of people I've read have disagreed with that and still thought it should be shorter, but I felt like every episode had something going on. And I found it really enjoyable. And the choreography is excellent.
Right.
Just blows my mind sometimes how good that is. So I really love that. And also keeping up with, well, not quite keeping up, but lagging behind a bit on the Grand Tour, but still watching a few episodes of the Grand Tour Season 3 and some of the Blacklists. I'm not fully caught up there. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Nice.
And I, again, haven't thought about what I'm going to do because it's always The Office or anything I see on cheap for Netflix.
Yeah.
On cheap for Netflix? What am I saying? on iTunes for cheap. Is that what I meant to say?
Yeah.
I don't know how I said that. But there you go. Oh, actually, no, Psycho. That was cheap. I rented that and that was 99 cents. So I'm going to watch that. And apart from The Mist, which is a completely terrible movie that I wouldn't even classify as horror, it might be the first horror movie that I ever watch.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm going to watch Get Out. And then I'm going to watch A Quiet Place.
Get Out's good. Quiet Place is good.
And I might watch It if I'm feeling up to it.
Yeah. I think I've seen a bit of it.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to a bit of it. Because I had to leave.
Oh, okay.
Like I was at a mate's place and then I had to leave.
You just got scared and you just had to leave.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the entire of that film or the because I'm presuming you're talking about the remake, not the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I want to watch It and Get Out because the sequels. No, not the sequel. The sequel to It comes out this year and Us comes out this year. It's not a sequel to Get Out, but it's just another one from Jordan Peele, so I obviously want to watch it.
Nice.
So trying to open myself up. It's taken a while, but I still haven't watched. But I'm gonna do it. Start with Psycho. Yeah. Why not? It's the perfect place to start.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Yeah, right. Well, that does me for what I'm gonna do.
So our final segment is usually called Crunchy Comments.
Well, it still is called Crunchy Comments. It's just lacking a bit of crunch to it. It's more like a liquid. It's more like just sipping on the remains of some soggy wheat bix.
Yeah.
It's been left in the milk for too long. It's no longer crunchy.
Yeah. No longer
so it's
crunchy.
Sad.
Yeah, so I don't believe we have any comments. So this is usually the time where we'll read out comments that have either been posted to the Twitch from our on Twitch from our live listeners or on any of our social medias, whether that be Facebook, Twitter, Ambit, or YouTube. So please leave comments below, especially if you're listening to this after the fact, so not live. Please leave some comments, and then we can read them out.
We gotta give them a prompt. That's what we're not doing. Oh no, we did give them a prompt. We told them to tell us our favorite memes. So that's what you do.
Tell us
Comment
your favorite
with your
memes.
favorite memes.
Tell us your favorite
or
memes.
anything else. Anything else.
Or
that came
what
up.
are you doing? What have you seen recently? You know, have you seen any of the films that we were talking about or TV shows?
Question: Are the Oscars happening before our next podcast? I assume they are, right? They happen
24th, I believe, 24th or 26th.
24th.
Yeah.
When's our next podcast?
It will be.
Oh yeah,
Oscars
so
will
that's
have
next
passed.
week, and the next one will be a week after that.
Yeah.
So, tell us who you think's going to win Oscars.
Yeah.
I mean, that was our last week's episode. But
Yeah. Tell us what you think.
And then next week, well, not next week, 2 weeks from now, we'll be back, and we're going to briefly touch on it probably during the What You Doing segment.
And we'll
we're not going to make a whole nother episode.
Yeah.
on it.
And we'll briefly touch on it. We'll see how we did in terms of our predictions. See who got more predictions right.
Oh yeah, I didn't write down what I was predicting, so I've probably forgotten what I said.
I remember most of them.
Not that I again, I don't care who wins. So
I mean, I care who wins because I want to know if I was right.
Yeah,
that's what I care about.
Absolutely,
is predicting it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. I want to know who wins best editing. That's kind of all.
Yeah. Well, did you hear what they've done with best editing?
Oh,
best
yeah.
cinematography, best makeup?
You know what's done? Because I heard at first that they were getting rid of the categories that are like less well known or less well cared about, and then they're like, "So we're getting rid of cinematography and editing," and I was like,
"That's like what makes film."
Yeah, but they didn't get rid of best sound mixing and sound adapting or whatever it's called. Yeah, because there's two different sound ones: sound mixing and sound editing.
Yeah, editing.
Which, while I understand, are two different things. If you just called it sound design and had one category and both people win, if you win, that would make more sense. Because most of the time they both win anyway. Yeah. And if you're listening to a film, how do you know the difference? Yeah. Because there is a difference, because editing is like the actual recording it on set, and then mixing is after the fact. But when you're only listening to the finished product, how are you meant to know the difference? Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure.
I don't know. Isn't there
someone could tell me how that works?
Isn't there a saying with sound editing and that it's, good sound editing, like the thing with good sound editing is you don't notice it. Like you only notice bad sound editing.
Well, that's with editing in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard it especially for like sound.
Yeah. Sound in general, if it's good, it's hard to notice often.
Yeah.
Unless you're listening for it, or if you have a nice theater to listen to it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like, it's good.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I think that's it for this week's podcast. I've been Matt.
You don't respect Jinx?
No.
Neither do I. It's useless garbage. Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone subject themselves to that? And I've been Ben.
And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
See ya. Get this from any other guy.